Buenos Aires, Argentina, 1960. In a city still warm from the southern summer, a man named Ricardo Clements stepped off bus number 203 every evening at almost the same hour. He walked the same unpaved stretch of Garibaldi Street toward a modest, unfinished house in the working-class neighborhood of San Fernando. He wore gray trousers and a pressed shirt, carried nothing unusual, and greeted no one along the way. His neighbors knew him as a quiet German immigrant, a diligent factory worker at the local Mercedes-Benz plant, a man of rigid routine and few visible ambitions. His wife, Vera, tended a small garden out front. Their 4 sons played football in the unpaved street like any other children of the barrio. Nothing, from the outside, betrayed the nature of the man who entered that door each night. His real name was Adolf Eichmann. During the Second World War, he had served as the SS Obersturmbannführer responsible for the logistical machinery that organized the deportation of millions to extermination camps. He had not been tried at Nuremberg. He had not been found. For 15 years, one of the most wanted men alive had been hiding in plain sight. The story of how he was found begins with a partially blind German-Jewish refugee living in the Argentine town of Coronel Suarez. His name was Lothar Hermann. His daughter Sylvia had begun dating a young man named Klaus Clement, who spoke with an unsettling pride about his father's role in the Reich. Lothar wrote a careful letter. The letter arrived first at the desk of Fritz Bauer, the German state attorney in Frankfurt, who forwarded it immediately to Israeli intelligence contacts he trusted. In Tel Aviv, a senior Mossad field agent named Zive Aharoni was handed the file with a terse instruction: verify the identity beyond any legal doubt. Aharoni flew to Buenos Aires under a false name, a businessman with interests in agricultural imports, and spent weeks performing the careful work of human confirmation. He photographed Ricardo Clement from a distance using a long lens, tracked his daily movements, and cross-referenced the structure of his ears and his gait. Aharoni compiled his report and sent it back to Jerusalem. The man on Garibaldi Street was Adolf Eichmann. The file landed on the desk of Isar Herel, the director of the Mossad, a compact and relentlessly meticulous man who ran it with near-obsessive attention to detail. He understood that capturing and publicly trying Eichmann in Israel would be an act of collective memory, forcing the world to hear the language of extinction. He brought the case directly to Prime Minister David Ben. The answer came back the same day. Proceed. Herel named the operation finale. 11 Mossad agents arrived in Buenos Aires in May 1960, entering through different airports and border crossings, each carrying a separate identity. Among them was Peter Malkin, a field operative who had lost his own sister to Nazi deportations. He was assigned to lead the physical capture. The team established a safe house en route 202 and spent several days rehearsing the sequence of the operation with disciplined repetition. The plan was geometrically precise. A car would be parked near the bus stop with its hood raised, as though suffering a minor mechanical fault. On the evening of May 11, 1960, Argentina's independence celebrations provided noise and distraction. The team moved into position at dusk. Eichmann arrived on a later bus than expected. The agents waited in tightening silence. When Bus 203 finally appeared, every man held his position. Eichmann stepped onto the gravel and walked directly into Malkin's reach. The physical grab lasted less than 10 seconds. Inside the car, Eichmann breathed rapidly, then slowly steadied himself and said in German, "I am already resigned to my fate." For 9 days, Adolf Eichmann was held inside the safe house, guarded in rotating shifts, while Herel worked the logistical machinery of extraction. Eichmann answered questions in full sentences. He signed a formal statement confirming he was Adolf Otto Eichmann and agreed to be transferred to Israel. On May 20th, 1960, Eichmann was sedated, dressed in an El Al airline crew uniform, and walked through the departure gates supported by 2 agents. The aircraft lifted from Argentine soil and crossed into international airspace without a single alarm raised. When David Ben-Gurion rose before the Israeli Knesset to announce that Adolf Eichmann was in custody, the parliamentary chamber fell into complete silence. The trial began in Jerusalem in 1961. Hannah Arendt would later coin a phrase that has never left the language: the banality of evil. Eichmann was found guilty on all counts and executed on June 1, 1962. Ashes were scattered beyond Israeli territorial waters into the Mediterranean Sea. No ground on earth would mark his grave or give his name a place to rest.